Have you ever noticed that the people who seem to effortlessly achieve their dreams are the ones who don't seem to care as much? It's like they're playing a different game and winning. I used to think this was just luck, but I was wrong. It turns out there's a science behind this, and it's called detachment. Now, before you think I'm telling you to be lazy and give up on your goals, hear me out. This isn't about not caring. It's about something much more strategic and effective. So what exactly is detachment? It's about releasing your attachment to the outcome. Think of it like this. You're putting in 100% of the effort. You're doing everything in your power to reach your goal. But you're not tying your self-worth or your happiness to whether or not you actually achieve your goal. This frees you from the anxiety, the fear of failure, and the overthinking that often sabotages our best efforts. When you're not so tightly wound around the results, you can actually perform better because you're more relaxed, more present, more focused on the process. Hi, I'm Stephanie No. I'm a life and mindset coach. I'm obsessed with personal development and helping people reach their goals. Keep watching to the end of this video so that you can learn how to detach from outcomes and finally get the things that you truly want. Looking back, even as a kid, I was always the overachieving perfectionist type A person. In middle school, I was voted by my entire grade as most stressed out. But at the time, I wore that title like a badge of honor. I thought I had to care so much to the point of causing myself stress that was the secret to success. As you can expect, this only got worse as an adult. I was always overanalyzing, overthinking, quite anxious. And before I knew it, I became what someone would call an indecisive person, when I was never like that before. The need for perfection was so overwhelming that it paralyzed me. It slowed down every decision that needed to be made. At times, it just stopped me in my tracks, and I would just find myself quitting before even trying. Growing up, the need to be perfect and polished worked in my favor until suddenly it no longer did. As an adult, I noticed that the people who were getting ahead or more successful were those who just jumped into action. They weren't concerned with being perfect. They weren't bothered with what other people thought about them. They didn't care if it was the best work they'd ever produced. They would say things like, well, I gave it my all, or I tried my best, and they were satisfied. It took me over 2 decades to realize how much time I'd wasted on this idea of perfection. It would be more effective to stop trying to be perfect all the time and to just take more messy action. When you take more action, you'll have time to change course or double down. If you're too busy waiting for the perfect time or the perfect product, you'll be waiting forever. We have this false belief that if we care so much about the goal or the thing we want, whether it's fame, success, a loving relationship, that somehow we'll just achieve it based off of how much we want it. But that's focusing on the wrong thing. When we focus on what we can control, such as our actions and efforts, we are accepting responsibility to do our best. And when we do our best and show up as our highest selves, what more can we ask for? You see, the prize is the journey, not the actual end result. It's about who we become while we're on this journey. the memories made, and the lessons learned along the way. Have you ever noticed that when you really, really want something, you actually fumble harder? For instance, you haven't been on a date in a while and you just want to settle down and find someone to share your life with. But when you finally get a date, you're so nervous and you start acting weird. You say things that make you wonder in your head, like, why did I say that? What am I doing? Or when you're super excited for a new job prospect, you get into your own head, so much so that you end up tripping over your words and overanalyzing and overthinking all your answers, that it just ends up coming out like a jumbled mess. This is like I mentioned earlier. When we detach ourselves from the outcome, we tend to do better as we're freeing ourselves from the fear of the failure and the unnecessary pressure. Only then we're able to remain grounded and show up as our best selves, not worried about what we look like or what we'll say. This is kind of like if you walk into one of these stores that are like completely empty and you kind of feel the salesperson being really pushy and desperate for the sale, and they're trying to say everything and do everything to make the sale, versus you walk into a store like Hermes or Chanel that has a line out the door. They have such different vibes, right? You can just tell immediately. Instead of focusing so much on the end goal, focus on yourself and who you need to be in order to achieve that end goal. Focus on what you can control and let go of the rest. For me personally, when I was dating, I remember at a certain point, I just told myself I was done. I was so tired and I was done dating the wrong type of guy for me. I felt like I was just attracting the same guy over and over. Hit that like button if you know what I'm talking about. And looking back in hindsight, it makes sense because I had just broken up with this boyfriend and I was heartbroken. And that probably came off as desperation or willingness to accept whatever came my way. And so I'm not surprised that I kept attracting the wrong guys. Then one day, I truly meant it when I said no more. No more dating, no more talking to people. I just want to be by myself. I want to be alone. It's my preference. And I want to just enjoy my time by myself and getting to know myself better and enjoy singleness. And of course, what happens is I meet my now husband. It seriously happened when I was not looking for anything. I was actually a little bit upset that he came into my life in my freedom era. I straight up told him, like, I'm not looking for anything. I don't want a boyfriend. I don't want anything. And here we are, 3 kids later, almost 16 years together. So, and he probably did it very well, this concept of detachment, because when I would say those things, he never pressured me. He honestly did not care. He would just say, like, okay, like, you want to grab dinner? And it was just like that detachment from the outcome, right? And so I think it worked both ways because I was detached from the outcome. And I think I just exuded this like confident, I want to be on my own, I don't need you type of energy. And I was just free from the anxiety and the worry and the stress. Which brings me to my next aha moment. When you love yourself and value yourself, you give yourself the confidence and validation from within. You are no longer searching outwards. This is when you start making moves and transforming your life. When I really accept and realize that I am enough and I have everything that I need within, I started branching out, right? I started trying new things, I started taking more risks, and ultimately it's brought so much opportunity and joy along the way. And I just really embrace this attitude of I am exactly where I need to be. So I'm just trusting the process, and I continue to show up exactly as I am, as should you. So just know that you are enough. You are exactly where you need to be. You just have to trust the process and continue showing up exactly as you are. Lastly, we are all human. If not all, most of us have this fear of what others will think. However, the problem with this is that we're living our life according to fear. We're living our life according to what one or two people might think about us. This quote always hits. Those who mind don't matter. And those who matter don't mind. Just as you are able to find confidence and validation from within, learn what matters most to you in your life. What values do you want to live by? And how does your life align with those values? If you focus on those two questions, you won't care what others think. Those other people are measuring your life with their measuring stick. Come up with your own measuring stick. Cultivate a life that you actually want to live and not a life that you think you should live because someone else told you to. The worst thing that you can do is wake up at the end of your life wishing you lived according to what you wanted and needed versus what someone else wanted for you. When you unlock the power of caring less and detaching from the outcome, you will truly be on your way to becoming the best version of yourself. So what's one thing that you're going to stop overthinking today and just take action on? Share it in the comments below and let me know. And if you want to learn how to build wealth easily, watch this next video. Remember, you are enough and you have everything you need within you to achieve your goals. Now go out there and make it happen and report back. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.